LinkedIn says that LinkedIn Stories will not be available on the platform by the end of September. TikTok announces its own virtual event called TikTok World, where it plans to showcase new capabilities and talk about opportunities. Instagram releases details about Instagram verification process. All this and much more coming up in this week's edition of the Connected Church News. Welcome, I am Nachi Lazarus, and this is the show that brings you the top 5 digital and social media news each week in just 5 minutes. Let's get started. Our first big news of this week is from Twitter. We had 2 major announcements from Twitter last week. One is about a new feature called Super Follows, which is a monthly subscription feature that lets you create subscriber only content and allow your followers to pay a monthly subscription to access that exclusive content. So it's an additional revenues generating system that Twitter is bringing to the platform, and it's right now available only to people who have more than 10,000 followers on Twitter. Very interesting news. It has also the details about the breakup of the revenue that Twitter will take and so on. I will link to all the details in the show notes to have a look. The second news item from Twitter is about a feature called Safety Mode, which is more about blocking accounts which are potentially harmful interactions. So the system will detect any interaction or a conversation which could be potentially harmful and block it for 7 days. So again, an interesting announcement. I will link to all the details in the show notes. Our next news is from Instagram. Last week, Instagram released details about Instagram verification process. Have you ever wondered how to get that blue tick mark that everybody seems to be after? Now you can understand more about that. Instagram talks about what is verification. It talks about what does it mean, what does it not mean, how do you go about getting verified, even how to transfer your verification to another account and so on. So do have a look if you're interested in verification. By the way, this information is also applicable to Facebook. Both Facebook and Instagram verification details are given in this article. Our next news is about LinkedIn. Last week, LinkedIn had 2 major announcements. One is about a new feature that they are adding to the LinkedIn learning platform called Office Hours. Office Hours is basically a live streaming capability that they are giving to certain course creators. And they're also picking up the top course creators and giving them this option where they can create a live stream to interact with their followers. LinkedIn Learning has been growing a lot, especially during this pandemic and lockdown, where people feel it's important to equip themselves. So if you as a nonprofit want to equip yourself or your employees, then this is something you might want to have a look at. The second news item from LinkedIn is about LinkedIn Stories. LinkedIn has announced that LinkedIn Stories are going away as of end of September. So they are saying that they are removing LinkedIn Stories as in the current format, and they are going to work on a better experience. So it will be interesting to see what they come up with. Our next news is from Google. Last week, Google released new features related to discovery and commerce on the platform during the coming holiday season. Yes, we are already starting to talk about the holiday season. We are in September, with just a couple of months away. So you will start seeing tech companies and social media companies talk about tips and tricks and tools for the holiday season. Good time for you as a non-profit ministry also to start thinking about the holiday season and your plans. Going back to the news, Google says that during the holiday season, you can improve your discovery by syncing your products on Shopify or WooCommerce with Google listing. And also this particular article talks about the annotations, the new feature, which is very interesting, where people see the shipping and any other related information like returns on top of the listing itself. Our final news of this week is from TikTok. We got 2 news items from TikTok. TikTok joins the list of big tech companies who have their own showcase virtual events these days. TikTok announces this event called TikTok World, which will happen on September 28th, where they plan to showcase their new products, the announcements, and also new opportunities that are there on the platform. So if you're interested in learning more about TikTok's future, then you might want to register for the event. The second part of the news is TikTok has released a new resource called Creative Insights inside its Creative Center. We have talked about this earlier. TikTok has a resource hub called Creator Center, and inside that now they've added this new section called Creative Insights, which gives you insight into the actual creative elements that people have used, which has worked well on TikTok. So if you as a non-profit ministry use TikTok very seriously, then this is something that might help your team come up with new ideas that work on the platform. So I will link to it in the show notes to have a look. That's all I have for you this week. Thank you for joining me. Do you have any questions or thoughts or feedback on anything that we talked about? If so, do leave them in the comment section wherever you're listening to me. You will also find the source links in the description section, or if you like to access it on a website, we've got all the source links and details in our webpage, nachilazarus.com/news. That's our news page. So do have a look. I'll see you next week with another set of news items. Until then, you stay connected and stay blessed. God bless you. Bye-bye.